Hello everyone and welcome to another Tempo Storm Wild Meta video where we highlight decks and strategies you can use to become legendary on the Hearthstone Wild ladder. Ashes of Outland has been an eventful expansion for Wild, but after weeks of development and several balance changes, the Ashes meta is finally settling down. Odd Demon Hunters, Reno Priests, Pirate Warriors, and Quest Mages abound, but there are only so many times you can play with Pirates and Priests before you have to break out from the herd and find something new to play. Fortunately, Wild has plenty of viable but underplayed strategies you can use to forge your own path. Let's take a look at 4 off-meta decks that you can use to climb to Legend and beyond in the Ashes of Outland Wild meta. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Tempo Storm Hearthstone YouTube channel and to turn notifications on to stay up to date with our Wild Hearthstone content. Our first featured deck is a true blast from the past. Popular in the early days of Wild, Big Shaman was a strategy that used Barnes and Ancestor's Call to summon massive legendary minions well ahead of schedule, but it eventually fell out of favor after Big Priest hit the scene in Knights of the Frozen Throne. Even so, Big Shaman's been quietly gaining new tools over the years, and now thanks to some key cards released during the Year of the Dragon and Ashes of Outland, this classic Shaman deck has some serious potential once again. The deck's game plan is simple, yet deceptively powerful. Bide your time with defensive plays during the early turns, then use Ancestor's Call or Eureka to drop one of your big baddies from your hand, or summon them from the deck with Muckmorpher, and take over the game from there. Besides Muckmorpher, there are only 4 minions in the latest version of the deck, but these minions are among the biggest and stickiest minions in the game. If your opponent fails to deal with them when they first hit the board, Ancestral Spirit and Vivid Spores will ensure those minions will be around for the long haul. When you combine those cards with Reincarnate, you can build an overwhelming army of multiple copies of Colossus of the Moon, or an impenetrable wall of taunts with several copies of Scrapyard Colossus. Compared to Big Priest, Big Shaman hits the board earlier and is more likely to finish the game quickly rather than grind the opponent out, which is a serious perk in a meta where fast aggro and combo decks set the pace. If it's forced to play the long game, Big Shaman's sticky minions and resummoning setups give it the tools to go the distance against most removal-heavy control decks. Altogether, Big Shaman is shockingly powerful and resilient, and it's sure to take your opponents off guard on your climb to Legend. Calling our next deck off meta would have been absurd not too long ago, but the past couple of expansions have not been kind to Odd Rogue. Between the nerf to Cold Blood, the dominance of removal-heavy Warlock combo decks, such as Sniplock and Darkest Hour, and upgrades for other decks that turned its matchup spread completely upside down, this once top-tier Rogue deck has recently found itself on hard times. With Odd Demon Hunter now established as the format's Baku deck of choice, it may seem like Odd Rogue no longer has any place in the Wild meta. Or does it? The meta has shifted significantly in the wake of the latest balance changes, and with aggro decks like Pirate Warrior and Secret Mage surging in popularity, Odd Rogue all of a sudden finds itself in excellent position. Thanks to its consistent curve and upgraded hero power, Odd Rogue has a tempo-oriented playstyle that generally dominates other aggro decks, and that includes Odd Demon Hunter. Odd Rogue's upgraded weapon dominates most of Demon Hunter's early game minions, and Odd Rogue is also packed with high-tempo plays like Magic Carpet and Faceless Corruptor that give it all the tools it needs to wrestle control of the board away from Illidan. Of course, Odd Rogue has plenty of strong plays in other matchups too, from Spy Mistress and Shady Dealer out-muscling other early game minions from Pirate Warrior and Secret Mage, to Loatheb giving you breathing room against problem spells from Reno Priest and Quest Mage. Put it all together and Odd Rogue is a sleeper hit in the post-nerf meta, making it an excellent choice for your next Legend climb. Speaking of top-tier decks that have fallen from grace, Malygos Druid was once the premier Aviana Kun Druid combo deck, but after the nerf to Aviana, as well as nerfs to core cards like Wild Growth and Nourish, Malygos Druid and other decks like it disappeared almost completely. In the years since then, Aviana Kun decks has been waiting for the right time to make a comeback, and thanks to Ysayle Windsinger from Ashes of Outland, Malygos Druid may have what it needs to carve a niche in this meta. The latest version of Malygos Druid aims to draw most of the combo with Juicy Psych Melon, then plays Geppetto Joybuzz to draw and discount the remaining pieces. Once the Druid has all the combo pieces and enough mana, it powers out the Aviana Kun combo into Ysayle and Malygos, draws through the deck quickly with cheap copies of Nourish and Ultimate Infestation, copies Malygos with Germination, and aims Malygos boosted burn spells at the opponent until they are dead. This combo can do some insane things once it gets up and running, and thanks to the mana discounts from Geppetto Joybuzz, it has a surprising amount of flexibility. With a discounted Ysayle or Aviana, you can sometimes go off even if you're missing some of the other combo pieces like Kun or Malygos, since you're likely to draw them on your combo turn as you churn through your deck. In the turns leading up to the combo, Malygos Druid can ramp its mana extremely quickly thanks to Overgrowth and Biology Project, and against slower decks, it can use Twig of the World Tree to set up a critical mass combo turn where it has the mana to draw through the entire deck and deal as much as 73 damage in one shot. The deck has an edge in speed compared to some other combo decks like Reno Priests and Mecha'thun Warlock, and can overpower mid-range aggro decks and control decks with a smooth enough draw. Fast aggro matchups can be tricky, but as the meta evolves to counter aggro, combo decks like Malygos are bound to find good matchups, which makes Malygos Druid a strong choice for climbing in the right meta. The last deck of our showcase, Reno Hunter, is a longtime favorite among Wild Hunter enthusiasts who take Wild's least popular class to Legend month after month. This latest Legend-ranked build combines the flexibility and power of the Wild Highlander suite with Hunter's card selection tools and high-tempo plays to manage the board, stay healthy, and build a winning position against almost any deck. Reno Hunter is packed with little combos and synergies, and part of the power and fun of the deck is learning how to use those combos to tailor-build a win condition for any situation. Whether you're using Stitched Tracker to stockpile powerful minions like Zephrys and Reno, or you're using Scavenger's Ingenuity to search up Zixor Prime for a massive board swing, or you're pairing Bran Bronzebeard with Lotheb or Dino Tamer Bran, or you're grinding out late-game control decks with Deathstalker Rexar, Reno Hunter can find a way to win in almost any matchup. Like most Highlander decks, Reno Hunter is more than the sum of its parts, so it can have a steep learning curve, but it's also among the most fun and rewarding ways to approach the game. Whether you're a die-hard Hunter main, or you're just looking to break away from the pack, Reno Hunter is an excellent way to make your mark on your climb to legend. Ashes of Outland has been an eventful expansion, and even though there are firmly established decks in the top tiers, the meta continues to shift rapidly, leaving the door open for new archetypes to emerge, old archetypes to evolve, and neglected archetypes to find their niche. These 4 off-meta Wild decks are just the tip of the iceberg of what's possible in Wild, so if you enjoyed this spotlight, let us know in the comments which decks you'd like us to feature next. As always, be sure to subscribe to the Tempo Storm Hearthstone channel and turn on notifications in order to stay current with our Wild Hearthstone content. Thanks for watching!